So this Jinx video is actually going to be after a question I asked the Jinx subreddit, which was pretty much with the new lores coming out, with the way Victor was portrayed in Jace's, which kind of made some people freak out about how Victor was portrayed, possibly Zaun being looked at as like a definitive evil instead of kind of the shady place it is. It does have some like maybe bad aspects, and some of his champions might be morally questionable, but it wasn't necessarily all bad, right? You had things like Echo or Zac, for example. Just like Piltover wasn't necessarily all good. You had things like Camille. So that being said, I asked the question, what are things that could potentially happen to Jinx's backstory, or what could be revealed that you either want to know or maybe even don't want to know? Because some people's appeal to the character was there's actually just a lot about Jinx we don't know. To the fact that that's not even actually her real name. That was a name kind of given to her from people who crossed paths with her, and like an unfortunate event would happen, like potentially almost being blown up, stuff like that. On top of that, she was kind of a Jinx to Piltover, in which case Piltover's like worst crime spree, its darkest days, stuff like that, happened when Jinx started attacking it. So with that said, kind of think of it like this. Kind of think of it like this analogy. I keep coming back to this analogy, unfortunately, because people might not know this analogy either, in which case this analogy doesn't help. But if you've seen like The Dark Knight, for example, Gotham was kind of on the up and ups in terms of cops were actually starting to fight the like Gotham underworld, stuff like that, and then the Joker came out of nowhere and just kind of caused chaos for everyone. That's kind of like how Jinx has done to Piltover. That would be the analogy there. In which case, granted, she doesn't necessarily murder people for the sake of murdering people. Like if she crossed alleys, the way the saying goes, if she crossed alleys with somebody in a dark alley, she wouldn't stab them to death, because that wouldn't be her MO. But however, she wouldn't think twice about if that same person was standing on top of like a pile of fireworks, blowing up the fireworks with no regard what happens to the person standing on top of them. Just to give you an idea if you have no idea. Now going forwards, when I say mystery is that there's like nothing. We know she went crazy at some point thanks to Echo saying that there was a her before she went crazy, but we don't even know why or how. And with these stories coming out and with the depth that these stories are coming out, there's a chance we might know a lot about these characters, but then the sub's answer was pretty much they don't want to know too much about the character. Part of their appeal to the character was that's up to interpretation. It's up to the person themselves when they like know about a little bit about the character that they do, going, hey, okay, and because of this is why I think she went crazy, or this is why I think she would do this, or this is why I think she wouldn't do this. And they kind of hope certain things stay a mystery. There are certain things that they hope do get revealed, because it is somewhat known that she wasn't always crazy. So like, okay, how did she go crazy? She has some connection to Vi and Echo. What is that connection more of? Etc, right? Like even with our current lore, we know she's from Zaun, but we don't even know if she even cares about Zaun, right? So just things like that. So the point of this video is to ask you the question, if you weren't partaking in that discussion on the Jinx subreddit, what are certain things you actually do want to know about Jinx when these Zaun stories come out? And then what are some things you probably don't want to know about Jinx because it's the mystery of the character that is like part of the appeal for you? Now that's all for this video. This was kind of actually shorter than the other ones, I think. Thank you for watching. If you did watch this far, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe as well. But I don't know which video will be next because life is full of a lot of kinks. So until next time, take care. GG, get jinxed.